Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could be with us. Also, joining us are our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, a new survey finds that most U.S. adults are concerned that the pandemic will keep them from practicing healthy habits. One of those habits is getting those routine checkups and screenings. We've been talking about that a lot, especially because so many people have put off their annual exams, especially over the past 18 months. Joining us today, though, to help us get back up to date on the important questions we need to be asking our doctors as we're getting back into our routine, we're excited to welcome Dr. Larry Sperling to our program today. He's a cardiologist, as well as the director of the CDC Million Hearts Initiative. Dr. Sperling, really appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Cyrus, and appreciate the opportunity to speak with your listeners today in Mississippi. This is a really important topic to discuss as we roll into the holidays and the end of the year. You're very correct that there have been significant health consequences related to the pandemic. Over the past 18 months, we know there have been delays in medical care and avoidance of medical care. In fact, the CDC estimates that 41% of U.S. adults delayed or avoided their medical care during the early months of the pandemic. And we've seen an increase in deaths from heart disease and stroke in 2020. This avoidance of medical care and delays have led to adverse health outcomes, including an increased risk for heart disease and stroke. And these trends are heading in the wrong direction. So it is time to get back on track, back to connect with your doctor, and back to focus on your heart health.
Yeah. Dr. Sperling, that's what I totally agree. It's such an important topic. I know in caring with my mother over the past 18 months, we were concerned at the beginning of the pandemic, her going into her appointments. We were able, of course, to take advantage of what a lot of people did, which is telehealth. But what is the CDC doing to help respond to this problem?
Yeah, the CDC has launched a campaign. The CDC Foundation campaign is a national campaign to encourage adults to make those heart-healthy steps, even in the midst of a pandemic. And through these small steps, they can live big. So the Start Small, Live Big campaign focuses specifically on older adults who make up the majority of individuals with cardiovascular disease. And this campaign encourages adults to get back on track with these small steps, like scheduling their medical appointments, getting active, and eating healthy so they can get back to living big. This campaign is a CDC Foundation campaign in collaboration with the CDC Million Hearts Initiative, which is a national initiative focused on preventing 1 million heart attack, strokes, and cardiovascular events in our nation.
Dr. Sperling, I want to ask you this about the question. As we are making those appointments again, I know my mother's back into her routine. What should we be asking our doctors to make sure that we are getting our health back on track, especially in filling them in on what our lives have been like over the past 18 months?
Yeah, certainly. When you talk to your mom or your friends or your neighbors or yourself, you want to be prepared for your doctor's visit. First of all, just make that appointment, but when you get to your doctor's visit, either by telehealth, telemedicine, or in person, have questions related to your general preventive health, chronic disease risk factors, and recent health trends. An example of some of these questions would be, based upon my age and health, what are the risk factors I should be focusing on? What are the tests and screenings I should be getting? How frequently? Are there vaccines I should be getting to stay healthy? What's the information I should know about my family health history? And what are these small steps or lifestyle changes that are recommended for better health? It's important to ask the question, am I at risk for heart disease or stroke? How do I measure my blood pressure, my cholesterol, and my blood sugar? And should I be taking prescription medications to manage my heart risk factors?
Very important questions. Again, that communication is so important. Again, everyone, Dr. Larry Sperling is our guest for this segment. He's a cardiologist and the director of the CDC Million Hearts Initiative, talking to us about the importance, of course, of getting back on track when it comes to seeing our doctors, getting those routine checkups and screenings, but also the conversations we need to be having with our doctor. Dr. Sperling, where can our audience go to be able to learn more and to be able to find out how they could be able to access some of the information we shared here?
Thanks for asking, Cyrus. Your audience can go right to hearthealthysteps.org to learn more about the small steps you can take to live a heart-healthy life. Again, appreciate the chance to visit this morning in Mississippi.
Well, thank you so much for that. We'll be linking that up for our podcast audience as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD 94.1 FM here in Mississippi, as well as WYADonline.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.